Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can hear me well and loud and clear. Just before we begin, I just want us to take a minute or so to interact with each other so that we don't leave anybody behind. I want to believe that all of us have logged in accordingly. And as I requested earlier, please let us make use of our chat box. This is the moment you start introducing yourself by name and the organization you represent and any other relevant information that you may wish to share with us. So I want to welcome all of us to this session, and I believe in the next 2 minutes exactly, the session shall be running and we shall start head on. So at this time and juncture, I want to welcome all of us so that we can start introducing ourselves in the chat box. I know a couple of us are still experiencing a few technical hitches here and there, taking into account the weather situation in the country at the moment. Those are some of the unavoidable circumstances. We shall be able to understand that. But at the moment, once you've logged in, please, we request, we implore upon you that you introduce yourself using our chat box so that we are able to recognize you accordingly and give you the right naming when you shall be called upon to speak, or you shall be called upon to share something or any insight you might have. So at this moment, I want to still call all of us to continue registering or accordingly with your name in the chat box so that we are able to recognize you accordingly. So feel welcome. Just as a matter of urgency, we are a bit behind time, but we are going to hit the road running and we are going to recover the few minutes which we might have also not covered according to our program, if you are so lucky to have gone through the program which we sent. And so now I didn't start by introduction. I'm Kevin Kaumba. I'll be the moderator for the session, but I'm also one of the directors with the Youth Initiative Development Program as a director in charge of communications and marketing. You feel welcome, feel at home, feel appreciated to be part of this great initiative that we are going to journey together so that we may make the planet Earth, we will make humanity a better people, a better place for all of us to live in. That our society may also appreciate the gift of us being present in it today. So without talking too much, I've seen people started registering in our chat box. We shall also be able to recognize you as you come in. So feel free, feel most welcome. So that very much. And if you have any also question, please still use our chat accordingly. We appreciate that very much. And so we are going to start this as soon as possible. So in due time, I'll be able to share with you the program for the day. Then from there, once we share the program, we shall be able to start from the first page together, and then we are going to hit the road running. So together, I believe we are going to journey until the end of the program, which is going to take approximately 90 minutes. So be alert always, because there are times you're going to engage everybody who is on session or on board so that we make it as interactive as possible. Thank you very much. Feel at home, feel welcome, feel appreciated. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I believe you can hear me loud and clear. As I mentioned earlier, I'm seeing we are making use of a chat box. I'm seeing people still joining. We may not be able to wait for everybody to log in. Some will find us on the way. I know we are still experiencing different hitches here and there, but I want to implore upon us those who are we concentrate so that we can continue together. Now, at this point, I want us to just explore about the house rules which you're going to observe while we are going to engage this afternoon. So just a few of them have been put in our screen. If you are able to see the screen, the first one is there. At least we are asked or implored upon to be on mute all the time, unless you are called upon to speak in the session. And apart from that, the session is going to be purely in English, which is the language you're going to use. And we are sorry for those who might not be able to use that in advance. So also, we also request that when you are a delegate, you dialed in, please make sure you use the time that has been allocated to you. If so need be, we shall be able to reallocate your time accordingly. And also, as I mentioned before, the session shall take around 90 minutes of our afternoon. And maybe any other stuff I've not mentioned here. This is just meant to guide our interaction going forward. We are going to make use of a chat box. If you have any concern, please, you can type it. We'll be able to see it. You have a technical team that is behind the scenes. They'll be able to see it and raise it in case it escapes my mind or any other person. And also on the same note, if you have a concern, if you have a question, if you want to make an rejoinder, please you can raise up your hand. We'll be able to see it, and we shall be able to give you the platform so that you can give your view, your concern, or the rejoinder you want to make. And also, we want to be able to set when there's a session going on, somebody's on session, please let's give him or her the required attention and time so that we are able to gain maximum lift from this session going forward. And if there is any other thing that we might have forgotten, we shall be able to address that accordingly as we proceed with the session going forward. I want just to give us that as a way forward so that we're able to engage and interact in a very mature and more engaging. Thank you very much. So I think as we continue with the session, I want just to highlight a few things we are going to do going forward. Okay. Okay, in our screen, you're saying who we are. That is YIDP. YIDP just means Youth Initiative Development Program. So from our screen, you are able to see just some few literature about who we are. That is a non-profit organization that aims to inspire and empower vulnerable young people through various programs, including training, community building, and promoting youth engagement through volunteerism. We focus on areas such as health, poverty relief, education, ICT, and sports to nurture talents among youth and the wider community. So when you see on the literature on your right side, just highlights the key areas that we engage in or the pillars we have as YIDP, Youth Initiative Development Program. So that is a brief overview of who we are. And more on this, we have our website that if you check down, you see our website, it highlights everything that we take part in and all the activities we've done before. So we are a youth-led organization, majorly led by youth themselves. We are youth people, we are still within the bracket of youth category, and so we are a youth led organization championing for a youth cause. So I want to believe this will help us going forward if you maybe had not taken time to interact with this kind of information. But if there is any question still, we'll be able to give that room so that you're able to answer that accordingly. And now, without wasting a lot of time, I want to bring to our attention the program for the day. So the program for the day is going to be strictly the way we put it, but we may be able to give a leeway in case there is something that would be very isolated or that will be very spicy or juicy that may enrich our discussion going forward. So from the program, It's very clear. There is welcoming remarks, which will take relatively 2 minutes, which I think I have done. And also we have the setting of the stage. Still, these two will be done by the YIDP group. As I mentioned before, I'm Kavins Kaumba, the director in charge of communications and marketing. Then setting of the stage, I will welcome our CEO and the co-founder, Colin Salandundo, who will give us some insights about our engagement going forward. And also after that, we'll have a keynote address. A keynote address will be, the first one will be done by Samuel Kumu, who is already with us. I've seen him, he's already logged in. And so you can see his area of expertise there. Very, very enriching, and we are looking forward towards that. Another keynote address will be done by Watson Mwandelea from Zambia, so that we close that area of keynote address. Then we'll have power minutes, which will be around 5 minutes. Then again, another power minutes, which are another 2 minutes or so, based on the gravity of the issue. So in power minutes, we'll be able to do this randomly. That is why I was requesting that we are able to log in our chat box, introduce yourself, introduce the organization you represent, so that when we'll be doing the power minutes, I'll be able to choose randomly anybody from the chat box within our discourse today, so that you tell us something about yourself, about the discourse you're going to engage in going forward. So that will take roughly 10 minutes or so, or less. Then once we close the power minute session, we'll go into the open forum. Open forum, we are going to make it as interactive as possible, so that if you have any issue that you might have gotten from the previous speakers, or something that maybe was not addressed, this will be the opportunity for you to address it. Or if you have any rejoinder that you need to make, this will be the opportunity for you to make it. So that open forum will take around 5 minutes, but based on the need, we are able to do that. Then we'll have also call to action as we age towards our final wrap. So that is also going to be distributed like that. And if there is any need, we shall be able to distribute time, but we have to work within the 90 minutes timeline that I already mentioned. So up to that, I believe we are up to date. We want to believe that other delegates are still joining. I'm seeing some people still joining, some honorable members still joining, and I'm seeing us making use of our chat box. So please, we implore upon you, continue introducing yourself, the organization you represent, so that we are able to identify you accordingly. At this moment, without wasting a lot of time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome on board the CEO and the co-founder for the Youth Initiative Development Program, that is Mr. Colin Salandundo, to give us his opening remarks, to give us his insights about this day, so that we are able to start on a better foot today. Welcome very much, Mr. Colin Salandundo, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Kavins. I hope I'm loud and clear. You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so
yes, we can.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for honoring our call to participate in today's roundtable. This is one of the sensitive areas that has never been taken serious on how to incorporate sports and health. And you can bear me witness, sports industry is the only industry which is handling millions and millions of children. And this is the only sector that health sector can take advantage of to help the youth, and probably to overcome some of the health challenges that they are facing in their day-to-day life. And we have several instances whereby there are issues to do with molestations in sports. And you'll realize in such a sector, we do not have enough data. Just to mention, but a few. So we have issues to do with mental health, issues to do with molestation happening at sports sector, and then also issues to do with HIV. We have data that really what sport expertise or coaches lack is how best they can integrate some of the trainings so that they can help young people fight stigma, which is attached to HIV and AIDS, as well as stigma, which is attached to mental health. And just to mention, I would like to start by, I would like to start by putting a lot of emphasis on mental health first. So you are aware of this, that mental health has become an issue among the adolescents. And we have got several cases of young people committing. They need some quick intervention that will help these young people to be healthy in a way that they don't hurt themselves. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because you'll understand how many coaches handling grassroots so young people, talented soccer young people. So these are people that have not gone through some trainings. Yeah, trainings in the sense that how they handle the health issues that are arising in their day-to-day operations, enough knowledge on how they can identify when a child is suffering mentally, when a child is depressed, when a child, they need someone to talk to, and they need someone who can give them direction. So I'm calling upon relevant stakeholders, those who are in the health sectors, please, we really need to come of the situation. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we really need to take trainings for the grassroots coaches so serious. And we really need to take trainings of those who are handling young people as well so serious. And how do we do this? This we can only do best if we know the number of cases that young people are undergoing at the grassroots. And also we really need to work on this if we know the number of cases that are affecting our young people down there. So Samuel Kungu, you can bear me witness. You've been in the field of training people, different expertise, that is community health professionals in the ghetto or slums areas. And you can see the need of equipping these people who are handling our young people with the knowledge. Otherwise, we'll have a generation. To mention on the HIV prevalence, you are aware the Ministry of Health of Kenya announced that there is a high rise of infection among the adolescents. And why is this happening? And what can coaches or sports sectors do to ensure that young people they can use different mechanisms to prevent themselves of contacting HIV and AIDS? And what is it that really happening that make young people to engage into early sexual intercourse? Or what is it that it's happening that makes the transmission to go so high? Because we have different ways of transmission among the adolescents. It doesn't mean we train our children in a way that they can handle the sharp objects that they are using, that they don't share it amongst themselves, and how best can we train them in a way that a young person cannot be like stigmatized, because there is a way you can bring a coach can rectify come up with some trainings among the adolescents, like while they are sharing maybe sharp objects, how best do they train these people, young people? And while they are sharing maybe water bottles, maybe they have wounds in their mouth, how best do they train these young people or correct them in a way that a young person will not feel like they are attacked in one way or the other? We really need to have some knowledge as coaches who are handling young people. Maybe you incorporate some wisdom in a way that make sure that young people or persons who are coming to train do have their carry enough water that can sustain them throughout this the trainings. And also, while they have sharp objects, how do they handle these? For example, razor blade. I know these young people, they work together, they go to school together. Do they share these sharp objects? So this is something that I really don't want to talk about, because it will need an intervention of an expert also to give us some insights that will really be helpful, that we can also incorporate to these coaches, because being an initiative which have really worked with coaches grassroots for more than 3 years now, and creating awareness of mental health and mental and physical health, that is that is non-communicable disease. And also in some instances also we do